Doesn't matter if you're buying your first home or your 10th home. Finding that next property is always a challenge and can always be a little bit stressful if you're not prepared. So today I want to share 3 quick tips that will make that buying process so much smoother and less stressful. Now the first big tip is speak to your bank or mortgage broker before you start even looking. Now the banks at the moment are extremely slow. Going back 3 or 4 years ago, it was typical that finance approval would get across the line in 14 days, and then we went to a 21-day period where it would take the banks up to 3 weeks to get approvals. Now that's completely blown out the window, and some banks are taking up to 5, 6 and even 7 weeks to get that finance approved. So the best thing to do is to start that process before you even start looking to buy, and this will also help you have a much clearer idea of your budget, and you're not going to suffer from budget creep as you look at one property, look at that one that's a little bit more expensive, and then the one after that. Before you quickly know it, you're 2 or 3 times over your budget. So start first with the bank, see if you can get that pre-approval process started, so that way when you find the right property, you're not going through stressful finance extension after finance extension, hoping that the vendor will allow you to keep that process going. So that's tip number 1. My second big tip is create a list of must-haves. If you do have that boat that you need stored somewhere, make sure storage is on the list. If use something that you must have, make sure it's on the list. If that second bathroom is something that you really are desiring and part of the reason for the move in the first place, make sure it's on the list. The more clear you can be about what you actually want in your next home, the fewer times you're going to be wasting your time going to a property that straight up isn't going to suit your needs. My third and final tip is be flexible on location. Sometimes we have this set location in mind that we want to be in, but very quickly you might realise that your budget constraints don't allow you to buy into that suburb, or simply it's taking too long for that right home to come on the market in that area. So if you are a little bit more flexible with location, you're obviously casting a much wider net, and you might find the things that fit into your checklists, so that might have the storage, might have the views, or might even fit into your budget. So if working with those 3 tips together, it's going to make that whole buying process so much more streamlined and so much more simple.